We're Katie, Michael and Indy, and we're currently travelling around Europe full-time in our self-converted van, Dippy. We've driven from Calais through the north of France, into the Pyrenees, over the mountains into Spain, skipped down to the south for some winter sun before taking a slower pace through the south of France, which brings us to now, our last week in France. We visit and judge one of France's alleged prettiest villages, find an unusual late-night park-up in the middle of the mountains, seriously misjudge the weather in Nice, whiz around Monaco and make a rash decision to cross the border into Italy. Welcome to Dippy Travels, South of France, Part 3. Good afternoon, not morning because we've had a very lazy morning. We're still at a park up near the mountains and we're about to go and explore one of France's prettiest villages, which I'm very excited about, and I think it's behind this rock basically. And then we might potentially start heading off down towards Nice and say goodbye to this beautiful scenery. Because we were planning a lengthy drive to Nice, and after yesterday's big hike, we decided to have a quick walk around the nearby village, which according to Wikipedia was one of France's prettiest villages. After a short drive, we arrived to an empty car park minus one other UK van, which have been such a rarity on this trip. The village was pretty, built on a hill as always, with a waterfall running through the middle of it, and a church towering above in the cliffs of the mountain. We did not need this after yesterday's hike. Why are we going back up the mountain? Oh, village is cute though. We had a short wander around, and although it was pretty and there was nice views, you could tell it was a seasonal village, as there was only one or two shops open, with everything else closed for the winter, which kind of kills the ambience a bit.
Oh, another rating?
Yeah.
This is crap.
Crap rating.
This is crap.
Not enjoying.
It's okay. It's quite pretty. It's quite nice. It's got a nice little waterfall going through it. But
it's crap. It's a bit crap. Everything is closed.
Yeah, I'm sure if there was a bit more going on, a bit more of a vibe
Yeah.
going on.
Little trumpet player.
Yeah, that.
And a bloody bakery open
That
because we
adds
said
on
we was going to treat ourselves.
Yeah.
No, we're
A
open.
trumpet player adds 1 point onto a
To crap.
score. So it goes.
I think a trumpet player adds a lot.
Yeah,
It is pretty.
it takes a 6 to a 7. A trumpet player.
Well, he has spoken. And so our drive to Nice began. We'd found a park up about halfway as it was quite a drive, and we didn't want to drive in the dark. The route was a lot more mountainy than we'd expected, and the roads were pretty intense. As the sun started to set, we reached the village and our park up just in time. We parked here because it was about the only option, but this ended up being one of the most random but pretty and cool places we've been this trip. We've woke up and it's freezing and we don't even know where we are because...
We are Entrevue.
Entrevue. In the middle of the mountains.
Yeah.
In the middle of the mountains. So we drove from that pretty village, whatever it was called, yesterday, and we're 2/3 of the way to Nice.
Yeah, we're about 45 minutes away.
Yeah, about 45 minutes away from Nice, but we stayed here last night because it was a long drive and it was so scary last night. We were driving in the dark, well, nearly the dark, through the mountain road. That was scary. I was scared.
It's never nice arriving somewhere in the dark as well.
No, and I don't think we've really done it before.
Yeah, I think maybe once.
Maybe once, but yeah, we got here and then we were determined to find a shop because it was Sunday yesterday and everything was closed and we didn't have a shop. So I was looking for a shop, no shops were open. Michael made me run down a main road to go to a garage. Yeah. That was literally, had some cookies and that was it. So that was a fail. But the town looks really cool and there was like a moat and a bridge and maybe dungeons, who knows. So we're gonna go check that out now. Yum! Cheers me!
Alright. Too busy.
Looking at the mountain village and the castle walls in the light of day made such a difference, and it was so beautiful. The castle has a lot of history but was last used during World War I as a prison for German officers, and now it's a commune where people live. It's an official member of Les plus beaux des villages de France, which translates to the most beautiful villages in France. This is an independent association set up in 1982 to promote smaller and more rural French villages to tourists that have a rich cultural heritage, and this one has definitely earned its place on that list. With vast mountain backdrops on this sunny autumn day, the views were just insane. The village split in the middle by the piercing blue mountain river, which doubles up as a moat for the castle. We loved our morning here and made even better by the fact it was a total random spot. Did not expect these views when we were here last night. And there's a toilet emptying station right next door. So that's the next job. With our morning walk and explore around the village complete, we set off on the final half an hour of our journey through more mountains and into Nice. We have parked up in Nice successfully, about 15 minutes away from the centre, which is great, and it already feels a lot better than all of the other cities we've been in, as in like safety wise. So we've just parked on a road here and Michael's just paying. Took a short walk from the van into the centre of Nice, and after waking up to freezing cold temperatures in the mountains, we soon realised we'd made some serious wardrobe mistakes. Hey Michael, remember that time we came to Nice and it was 20 degrees and I'm wearing thermals and you're wearing a coat and I brought a knitted cardigan and we're ridiculous?
I do remember it quite well.
It is now. It is hot. We are sad. We couldn't get over how hot it was, but with only the afternoon to explore, we soldiered on. We really enjoyed Nice and would say it was our favourite city we've been to so far on this trip. The vibe was just great there, whereas in other cities it had felt a bit sketchy, trashy or dirty at times, but Nice was generally just so beautiful. With stunning and colourful buildings everywhere you looked, churches, cathedrals, pretty cobbled streets with independent stores, cafes, restaurants, street food, everything you'd want from a sunny city break. We strolled past the harbour and along the glistening coastline. With a long stretch of beach with people sunbathing, the sea was so blue and looked so inviting, even more so when you're sweating it out in thermals. We then tackled the steps up to Castle Hill to get a view of the city. We love a good viewpoint in any city we go to, as it's a really nice way to see the city without the noise of the city. Castle Hill is more of a park on a hill with multiple cafes and viewpoints, which makes it a really peaceful place to come and enjoy the views. Negative of off season. The waterfall's not on and it stinks like pond. After aimlessly wandering around a little longer, we headed back to the van to make our way to our next destination and country number 3 of the trip. Totally irrelevant to any form of van life or travel, but our lights are working after breaking. When did they break? Like it's 2 weeks in?
Yeah.
Not even a week in, and they've been really dim, so we've not been able to do any videos in the van. And now they're working, but they're probably going to break tomorrow. That night we parked on the road just outside of Monaco so we could walk in the next morning. We're about to enter Monaco, our 3rd country, on this zebra crossing. Oh, we've not crossed it yet. We're in Monaco! After crossing the border on foot by zebra crossing, we're in country number 3. Monaco is a small country in between France and Italy, so it was a no-brainer to tick it off in one afternoon at the end of our French road trip. It's the 2nd smallest sovereign city in the world and has the world's shortest coastline. It's most famous for being the wealthiest and most expensive places to live, alongside the Monte Carlo Casino and the F1 Monaco Grand Prix. Walking around Monaco for the day was pretty much a day of, how much do you think that costs, how much do you think they earn, or imagine having that much money. It was cool to explore and experience, but unless you're there to spend lots of money, a long afternoon seeing the sights is more than enough. In an unexpected change of plans, we're now skipping out Ez, I think how you pronounce it, which we're going to go to tomorrow, but it's going to rain. We're going to Italy!
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going to cross the border, go to Italy, goodbye France. And yeah, like I said, we've done France, Monaco and Italy in one day now, so 3 countries in one day. It's pretty impressive.
From pan of chocolate to spaghetti tonight.
I didn't know it was going to be my last pan au chocolat. I didn't even choose it. I had a swirly thing instead. But we're going to drive through Monaco like an F1 racing car. It was actually really difficult to get out of Monaco, but after a few wrong turnings, we made it out and back into France briefly before we hit the home stretch to the border. Goodbye, France. We love you. What we're going to shout? when we go through the border.
Mummy,
Mamma mia!
I'm in Italy.
When we go through the border, we just have to say everything Italian. Oh! We're in Italy! Next time on Dippy Van Travels. Buongiorno! 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 We got moved on by the polizia this morning. Nice? I'm not... I feel like what's happening here? Google Translate. Short drops of chocolatey greedy goodness.